I'm laughing. I'm not having a good start. I've put doing a video and I got the wrong camera on and everything's gone completely peculiar. Now I don't know why that is. I got halfway through it, believe it or not. I've got to start it again. Oh dear. Well, there are two main issues today. I had to redo a video because the last one I kept playing. I thought I've got to take this down. I'm a nut. I'm absolute nut. It was fun to do, but not. I don't know if it. Well, of course it was me, but it was a silly me. I shouldn't impose that on you, really. So this is the full down to earth video because I had a surprise this morning, which is really sweet, and a surprise in the night which wasn't so sweet. So the one this morning was very sweet. I came to and I had a note for a letterbox. There was a box in the cupboard and out in the porchway, and it was a huge box of flowers. Marks and Spencer's, of course, they are the best. From my daughter. I hope I will come to life one day. I think I've lost a lot of my joy. I'm so battered. I can't even get enthusiastic about anything. But anyway, these flowers are magnificent. I mean, she has sent flowers before. She's good at it. But of course, as you know, the 80th I didn't have anything, and I haven't had anything since. So this was a shock. And they're all roses, pink roses, purple roses, beautiful blooms and foliage, and it was like a work of art and absolutely in perfect condition. Sometimes these things come and they want watering or what have you, don't they? So this was like a really nice surprise. My hair's a mess today, everything's a mess today. One of the ascension symptoms, by the way, is that your hair stops growing. So I've been told. Anyway, these flowers, so I took great delight in putting them in a pot, and I couldn't get my tree, so they kind of replaced it. But a little note came with it. Happy Christmas, Mum. I thought, well, I am a bit overwhelmed, to be honest, to know how and why it's happened, because you know we've had some battles. And I don't know, at some level, obviously, somebody's done a bit of sorting out. But I think the crunch really was the Christmas card that came, no, was it? Yeah, that's right, Christmas card. They came with her letter, which upset me quite a lot. I won't go into that. So I kind of answered it by email, and I was in a completely different place when I answered it. I called on help from my higher self, my higher Beth. I said, I want to write this from the heart, no justifications, no arguments, no ifs or buts. And so I think that I did feel it was a pretty good email. Just a few, it wasn't like my usual 2 or 3 pages. Just a couple of sentences thanking her for her, instructions and whatever she gave me. And I left it at that. And whether that's done it, whether she got the message, maybe she's come to the conclusion I'm not all bad. I don't know. Who she said before, who knows what's going on in her head. I'm going to see what one of these videos working. I don't understand it today. Oh, it is working. So that was that. I can't say when it gets brought up. It's going to take 2 or 3 days to work out. And do I need to work it out? No. Why don't I just accept? I think the key is acceptance, and also surrender that the battle is over. The battle has not been won. We come to some sort of truce at some level, thrown down the swords, and it's time to sort of let go of it all. There's so much I'd like to say, you know me, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to accept these flowers, and I could feel the love in them. So she does love me, and I love her, of course, but, well, not of course, but it's different. We are different but now loving, aren't we? So that was the first thing. And the second thing was the energies. I don't know if anybody, we're all feeling them, aren't we, at the moment, but we all feel them in a different way. I think some people get headaches, some people get dizziness. Well, I think I get them all. Although I don't get headaches, I'm pretty good at that. I was reading on the internet yesterday about oxygen, how we need to have oxygen. I don't breathe deeply enough, and the causes, what that causes, lack of oxygen, is quite amazing. Dizziness, pains, aches and pains, all sorts of things. I thought I'm going to try practicing breathing. 2 or 3 minutes a day, proper breathing, regular breathing exercises. I think, who does that? Wim Hof? Somebody does breathing exercises on the internet, but I'm aware I don't breathe deeply enough. So when this peculiar thing starts that I feel, it usually starts when I'm watching television. I'm sitting still and I get this input, I cannot sit still. I have to move about. I can't watch television sitting down. I've got to stand up. My legs are it's like a restless leg thing, but it's all over. My whole nervous system goes into some sort of spasm. It's horrible. This went on for quite a long time. It usually lasts 2 or 3 hours. I thought, I've got to go to bed. How am I going to lie down with all this going on? But I had to do it. So I come in here and put all the different healing things on. I get my drumming stick. I beat my legs to get the circuit. Oh, you would know what I go through just to get bedded well enough to go and lie down in bed. We're not going to tell ourselves we're going to sleep. We're going to just rest. Do all the right things. And of course I didn't. But I did eventually wake up, doze off, then wake up again to this horrendous feeling. It's like everything happens at once. This is to do, by the way, and this is just what I'm feeling and sensing from wherever. It's the Kundalini energy, the base chakra. Now I expect you all know about that base chakra, the sexual chakra, which causes a lot of problems for obvious reasons. But it's also security, manifestation, finance. It's the very earth. But of course it's to do with the top one as well. So this is the sixth ascension. The sixth, yes, it's the sixth ascension, the sixth energy, sixth. Fifth plane is the fifth, and then we're all going into now. The sixth is the ascension energy. Now I know that. I read it. No, don't read it. I know it, and it's. Well, you can't really. You just got to try and keep as grounded as you can, really. But it sends me nuts because it's everywhere. You see my legs down. Energy's everywhere, you know, where they should be, and your restless legs, you're throwing your legs about, you're doing it. I mean, it's energy. It's a very powerful energy that comes in, and I think it's stimulating that particular chakra, the sixth, the Kundalini chakra, which is the sixth plane. Look it up. I never have enough information. I have just these bits that come at me, or what I've experienced. I knew this has been going on for 2 or 3 years for me, because it's been a very sensitive thing, obviously, you know, for obvious reasons. But it's a very sensitive, Kundalini energy. It's a very powerful. It's the rising up of the right up to his crown. The crown and the base, you know, these two are being stimulated at the same time, and it's very powerful. I mean, I think that's what makes me restless. I think, no, hang on a minute, what is this going on? Because I'm terribly frustrated. I have to get out of bed and wash the floor or do something else, whatever. So if you feel like this energy is getting too much, it's probably the Kundalini energy. You will see it on the internet somewhere. Somebody will talk about it soon, I expect, in great detail. I don't have great detail. This is something I seem to recognise as having gone through before, probably in a past life, I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff in the base chakra, all our insecurities and angers and frustrations, and it's very powerful. Emotional stuff particularly, but the anger and the frustrations and the insecurities, you know, and I think that's what I've been going through, more so now, really. Although it's coming to, I think knowing what it is helps, doesn't it? Sometimes, you know, think that's what it is. Let's just sort of go and do something, you know, get rid of the energy. So I've turned night into day. I sleep in the day, and I just do my jobs at night. I wash the floor, or I do whatever, and that seems to help. I can go back to sleep afterwards. I think it's getting to understand. So that's something else. That kind of surrender. I mean, I don't know how to fight that sort of thing. You can't really. You've got to go with it. But the surrender with my daughter is almost on a similar plane, you know, because I think she was my security in a way. I mean, my only child, and the marriage was a disaster, and perhaps I depended too much on her. I don't know. She hasn't said that, but I think this is a question of. Well, it's like the Christmas tree, isn't it? That's another thing, you know, the Christmas tree and all that goes with it. I'd had to just, and I realised that on Wednesday, Sainsbury's weren't going to come this weekend with my Christmas shop. They weren't going to come. I hadn't got, there were no slots left. So I've had to, I actually went out yesterday to the local co-op, spent about 50 quid just on topping up, just you know, to get myself through the weekend. And so I've had to let go that they weren't going to come. I couldn't get food from them. I've only got a very local shop here, you know. And I thought, well, I've got to give up. Okay, we don't have anything to eat on Christmas Day, which is not true. I've got a fridge full of stuff. It's all in the head, isn't it? It's all in the head. We have to scrabble, scrabble, scrabble to get this Christmas Day. Well, it's ridiculous. It's like any other day. It's the thing we have to really watch, just getting into the head with what everybody else is doing, rushing around like mad things out there. I mean, for half the food is bought. You see on advertising, half the food may be thrown away. People don't want it. They get a pile there. You see them in restaurants, pile the plates high, and it all gets taken away. What a waste, isn't it? The system's wrong somewhere. So I had to let that one go. Okay, we've got no Christmas cake. We've got no. I don't have that kind of Christmas anyway. But I had to just accept that it wasn't going to be there this year. You know, the special things I like to buy. I've got probably scampi and chips. I don't know. I've got stollen. I love my stollen bread, you know, the fruity things with marzipan in. I shall have a piece of that with a cup of coffee. That'll keep me going. That's all I need, really. And then the letting go, the surrender with my daughter, and the surrender with the Christmas tree. The first year, I've never had a tree. I've always had a Christmas tree. Big, small, I could write a book about Christmas tree stories, peculiar ones I've had. I had one year and all the needles fell off them and I got it out of its pot. So that I've got one outside now from last year, but I can't lift it. I can't lift it in, and besides, it's got no needles left. Oh dear. So no Christmas tree, no Christmas festivities. Here I am on my own. I'm still laughing. So I must have got something going for me, mustn't I? My daughter. Well, that's something. I think it's a karmic. It's definitely a karmic thing because she saw our birth chart. It's true that she's very useful for relationships. You know, you put them together, you can see where all the conflicts are. And she and I have got this it's a grand cross between us, and she's a Scorpio and I'm a Taurus, so we're opposite anyway, and all the major planets are kind of squaring each other in oppositions or squaring and challenge, and she's got a difficult chart anyway. So has helped me to understand where it's coming from. And Saturn's the planet of limitation and parental frustrations and disciplines. It's a very harsh planet to have anywhere in your chart, and it's right on my Venus, my feelings, myself, my sensitivities. She's doing this all the time to me. So what is she teaching me? You see, this is what I come down to in the end. You have to ask, what is it teaching you? What is it teaching you? It's not her fault, it's not my fault. It's just something that we've come together to learn. I think I'd mentioned in one of my videos about the laws, didn't I? The laws canon about the afterlife preview. I've got to go, darlings. A shame, isn't it? Just getting going. Anyway, I think I've covered quite a few subjects, quite a few topics. I might have to go over them again. This is just to say, give in. Don't fight it anymore. Whatever it is you're fighting, just give in. Give up and let God. It works. Okay, darlings, you take care of yourselves. Here we go again. God bless for now.